Dance can be one of the most growing things a person can do. Hi everyone, I'm Annika, and welcome back to the 5th episode of Rhythm and Reality, where we talk with dancers about their journeys on the dance floor and through life. This week I interviewed Avery, who's a fellow student, a friend, and she's learned a lot growing up in the dance world. Here's our conversation. Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Rhythm and Reality. Today's episode we have a very special guest, so Avery, I don't know if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about your experience with dance.
Hi, I'm Avery. I am a freshman here at GCU right now. I was dancing for probably 7 years, maybe 6, I'm not really sure, before I started college. And yeah, I stopped when I graduated high school, but that was a really big part of my life before I graduated, so.
Nice, that's awesome. So looking at your dance journey, just in total, what kind of got you into it at first?
My mom actually suggested it. First, I was doing dance when I was like super tiny, like those tiny talk classes, you know, in your little tap shoes, whatever. And then my mom put me into like a bunch of different sports, so I was kind of a butterfly kid around when I was little. And then I finally got back into dance per my mom's suggestion, right as COVID was starting, actually. And then yeah, that's how I got into it. My mom suggested it, and then I ended up really loving it, so I just stuck with it.
Nice. During COVID, how were you able to, like, was it more of like a solo dance, or were they still holding dance classes over COVID?
So I started in fall of 2019, so we were still able to, go to class and do all those things. But I was actually living in Oregon when I started, so in Oregon, COVID like hit in I think it was February or early March, and then everything stopped. So everything went online. So we get to do our little dance combos in our Zoom calls, which was not fun at all. It was really awkward actually, because I'd be standing there and they're like, okay, bend over and touch your toes, and we're like stretching in our living rooms or whatever. But you gotta do what you gotta do. So it was very interesting for a while. And when I moved here in June of 2020, and then I started dance back up at a local studio, and we were required to wear masks, unfortunately, so that made breathing really fun. But it's fine. I mean, once I took the mask off, I was like, wow, I'm really fit now.
It reminds me of like when runners will wear those like weights, and it like purposefully makes it hard to run, and then you take off the weights and it's like, wow, what was I missing?
Yeah.
Like I could imagine taking off the mask. It's like, ah.
It felt so nice after being done. And then I had like all these like face mask marks on my cheeks and whatever. I was like, that's really attractive. But it's okay. It only lasted for like a year, so it's fine.
A year? The marks?
Yeah.
Oh no.
No, like me dancing in a mask, sorry.
Oh, okay. I thought you said like you took the mask off and the marks were still there for a year.
Yeah, that would be a very large problem.
Oh yeah.
No.
Well, I'm glad they went away and you now have the freedom to dance maskless.
Yeah, I was happy about that.
That's good. When you were dancing in or when everyone was on the Zoom call too, was it like, were you guys able to get the same timing with everything if you were learning a routine, or was everybody like off, like jumping around?
So, that would make more sense. It was actually really weird because we couldn't do recitals anymore, so we weren't actually creating dances like we normally would. We were just doing, like, our teacher would teach us a combo, and then we would all just do it, like, at our own pace at home. Or, like, I was doing a lot of ballet at the time to kind of just get my foundational skills, and so that was a lot of, I mean, I don't know how much you know about ballet, but it's just very follow along kind of structure. So, and I was in like the lower classes too, so it wasn't anything too challenging. Um, but yeah, it was definitely chaotic because some people's audio wasn't working, and then it was
Oh,
weird because they
yeah.
would take attendance too, and so you have to like, okay, make sure I'm on the Zoom call at like 6:15 or whatever. So um, it's just interesting, that whole dynamic. It was not fun. I prefer in-person dance.
Oh, yeah. I feel like just the idea of that just kind of like baffles me. Like, how would you, like, especially if it's like laggy or something, like, how are you able
Mhm.
to like follow along to all those things?
Yeah.
Anyways, kudos to you, because that can't have been easy.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that's cool that you were able to like get through it and still learn things, though.
Hmm.
Um, do you think that, or sorry, let me like rephrase this a little bit. Um, what are some of the different dance styles that you've kind of gone through and learned? And do you think ballet was your favorite, or did you have a different favorite?
I was taught a bunch of different styles. So I've done everything from ballet, jazz, tap, hip hop, ballroom, contemporary, all of it. Um, I loved ballroom. Unfortunately, I could only do it for I think a year or two, because then my studio just didn't offer it for the team I was on.
Mm.
But that was so fun. I actually got to take a class from Val and Jenna, from Dancing with the Stars. So that was really fun. Um, yeah, it was one of our conventions that we were a part of, so that was really fun. And I got a picture with Val, and it was the whole thing.
What? Okay, hold on. Do you
um,
have this picture? Like, are you able to pull this up? Or is
I
it like way back in
don't.
the photos?
I could ask my mom to send it to me. She has it like on our drive at my computer at the house or something. But
Oh,
it's on our fridge. It's so funny. My mom's like so proud of it.
oh my
um,
gosh, that's awesome.
yeah,
Okay.
so that's like the ballroom part of it.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, my ballet is actually like my least favorite style. I
Mm.
took it just so that I could get those foundational skills down because a lot of everything stems from ballet, right? So all your positions, the structure and everything, the way you hold yourself, it all flows into each category of dancing. So my favorite was always lyrical.
Mm.
I just loved the I loved dancing with the lyrics of the song. So when I would choose my solo pieces or whatever, I really thought about the song I was gonna choose, um, and see if I can envision myself dancing to that specific song. Or I know for my senior year, I did a what was it? Running by NF. That was the song I chose.
Mm.
Um,
It's a good song.
and yeah, it was definitely it's a big song. So it was hard to like jump out of my box that much. Um, but it was really cool, and um, I ended up changing the song, and it was a whole thing. Anyway, um, not because I didn't like the song, but I just felt like I needed to do something that was more faith related. Not that NF isn't faith related, but um, I
That you
did.
lean into that.
Yeah. So I changed that, and I really like flipped the whole solo around within like a month before our nationals, in June. And then yeah, I was purely just like, I'm dancing for Jesus, and that's all I care about. So um, yeah, it was a really cool way to like to end my dance career, was because that was the last time I was dancing. So um, yeah, I wanted it to be about that instead of, oh, I'm doing this. It's like, no, I'm doing it to praise the Lord, and that's it. So
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Um, and this is also when you're talking about nationals. Do you want to
Mhm.
clarify for anybody on the podcast what this is nationals for?
So in the dance competition world, there's a bunch of different competitions that you can go to, all different levels, and whatever. That's a whole other thing too. Like some studios are like, oh, that's a weird competition, or like, oh, that's for like not as good dancers. I'm like, guys, it's
Mm-hmm.
all competition. Let's come, like, bro. Um, but anyway, um, I went to I think four like regional competitions, and then one of those regional competitions, my studio decided to take us to their national, which is just it was actually in Palm Springs, um,
Mm.
which was fine. There's not much to do in Palm Springs, in my opinion, so I was there for a week, and my family and I just kind of hung out and waited for me to dance, and then we left. So,
Nice. That's
um,
awesome.
yeah, but yeah, so nationals is just like you can there's a convention aspect to it, which is just you're taking classes all day, which is horribly exhausting. Some people love it, some people hate it. I'm one of those people that was like dreading it the whole year, because it's just so tiring. Like you wake up at 6, 5 o'clock, whatever, shove
Mm-hmm.
some food in your mouth before you have to dance for like 5 hours straight, and then
Man.
you have to like audition for pieces or whatever, and then you have to like get scholarships. It's just a whole thing, and I'm like, this is not my style.
Wow.
I danced because I loved it, not because I was trying to like be the best or make myself look perfect or whatever. And I think that's a big misconception in the dance world, is that like, oh, I have to get, for example, a quad pirouette. So just turning 4 times in a row. For those
Mm-hmm.
who don't know, it's things like that, just like very specific goals, and it's okay to have specific goals. But I think that that can be very challenging. At least it was for me, because I would make those goals, and then when I wouldn't reach them, I'd be like, "Oh, I'm not a good dancer." And when that's
Mm.
really not true, it's just that I struggle more with like turning, or some people struggle with leaps, and I excel in leaps and stuff like that. So, um, that whole scene of like comparison with the conventions at nationals, or any convention for that matter, it's hard in that aspect. But I think a lot of people just love learning from the different teachers.
Mm-hmm.
Val and Jenna being one of the teachers, or I guess two. Yeah, it's kind of funny when I tell people that. They're like, wait, what? I was like, yeah.
Wait, okay,
um,
tell me more about that. I have to stop you this time because I'm so curious. What was that like?
I mean, it was really cool because it low key was really humbling, because I had just started my ballroom classes, so I had no idea what was going on. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe I'm dancing in front of like the ballroom idols of this generation right now. Like, it's actually like absolutely insane. Um, and I'm like, I can't believe, I feel like I'm in a TV show right now. And it's, no, I'm just in a convention center in Phoenix right now. That's it. Um, like,
What?
um, yeah, but it's fun because like there's hundreds of people in the room that are all like, "Oh my gosh," about this, and you got parents that are like recording and everything, and um, but yeah, we did a combo with them, and it was a really fun combo. It's funny because I'll hear songs like the song that I shoot, what was it? I don't know the song, but one of the lyrics was like peanut butter jelly, and I was like, "What is happening?" But it was cool. But yeah, that's another thing about dancing, is that like when you do a dance to a song, that song is forever. Like, wait, I did a dance to this. Like, whether it's a combo or a competition piece or at school, like whatever. Like that
Mm.
song, you can no longer listen to it again, because it's just, like you hear it so often that you're like, it's no longer a good song to me.
You can't like
um,
unsee the dance that you did.
yeah, exactly. Because they tell you that they're like ingrained into your brain. I'm like, it's in there. I promise.
It's not leaving.
Yeah. Yeah, but Val and Jenna, they were really sweet, and Jenna was actually pregnant with her. I don't know his name. They have a
Oh.
5-year-old now, but
Mhm.
they had like announced that she was pregnant like a week after that, so it was
Wow.
kind of cool. But yeah, they're really sweet people, and they're really encouraging, and like to all the people there. So I definitely think that like, yeah, they're going to be stressed because they're teaching 500 people at the same time and whatever,
Oh
but
yeah.
they were really nice about everything. So, yeah.
That's so cool. So, okay, I'll be honest. I don't really
Mhm.
have a lot of context. Personally, although I'm doing a podcast about dance, I
Yeah.
haven't actually watched that much Dancing with the Stars. So, I haven't really heard of these people explicitly, but then you say, "Oh, they were on Dancing with the Stars," and I'm like, "What?" So,
Okay.
for those who kind of don't know them too, do you want to give like a little like I know you said their specialty is ballroom, but are they a couple? Were they paired up in the show?
Yeah, so um or, oh my gosh, Val and Jenna, not me like coordinating their names. I don't know how to say their last names. I'm not even gonna try. Um
I don't blame you.
they're so cute together. Yes, they're a couple. I don't know how long they've been married, but they've been married for a little while. Um and yeah, they've been on Dancing with the Stars for several years. I honestly have no idea how long. I'm not like an avid Dancing with the Stars person, so I'm more of the I see it on my Instagram reels or TikTok and I'm like, "Oh, that's a cool dance" or whatever. So, like right now they're going on a nationwide tour, so I'm seeing all those videos of them dancing together. I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Yes.
Um but I don't know. It's so cool to see and watch dancing when you have that like experience from prior. So like me having that many years of dancing and then seeing somebody else dance, it's just so much cooler because I can appreciate how hard like it is that they're doing. I'm like, wow, like I spent so many years trying to figure this out, and well, so many years. I know some people are like, I've danced for 20 years. I'm like, yeah, that's not me.
Well,
I
still, you've
did,
got a few years under your belt, so that's
yeah.
something.
Mm-hmm. Um, but yeah, it was really cool. I don't know very much about them honestly. But yeah, they're really cute together, and I know that there's a couple different married couples on Dancing with the Stars, I'm pretty sure. Um and yeah, they're like hiring new people and all these things. They're that are younger so they can like take over eventually. So um but yeah, Dancing with the Stars is really fun to watch. I don't like all the ads, but who likes ads, honestly?
That's fair.
So that's why I just like watching the reels and whatnot. So yeah.
Yes, I agree with this. Is it like surreal for you now, like looking back, or like when you come across those reels and you like see them dancing, whatever? Is it like kind of surreal for you? Like, I was there, like within the same room as them, and they
Yeah.
taught us a combination. Like,
Hmm.
how crazy.
I definitely do feel that sometimes. Because I'm like I'm a little starstruck with them.
Mm.
Because they're just so like they're so talented and they clearly work so hard. Um, and I think some people just have the gift of performing and they really do have that. Um, and so it's really cool to be like, I got to learn something from them instead of just like, oh yeah, I loved watching them on Dance with the Stars or whatever. So having that personal history with them, even though it was like an hour,
Mm-hmm.
it was definitely it's something I clearly remember. So um, yeah.
That's so cool. I'm so glad you mentioned that because sometimes I worry if there's not the right question asked, something like that will just be like totally gone over. So if there's any other things like that, you should definitely throw them in there. Like, oh yeah, I danced with this others, like what, anything like that. Like that is just so cool to me. Um, but going back to a little bit of like the end of the year, like the high school experience and the competition within dance, when you were done with all of that, because it sounds also like it almost took a lot out of you, even though you do love dance. It can, I feel like there's also, it's definitely possible to get fatigued with that too, especially with that level of training and the competition world. Like, that can almost speed it up in a sense. So, when you were done with that and when you finished or graduated or you exited that world of dance, how did you feel? Were you more relieved or were you more like, oh, this was an era of my life that I'm missing.
So, kind of a mix of both. I did school dance and studio dance. I think I actually have a picture. I don't know if you want to see. I have a picture of me crying on stage because it was the last time I was dancing with my high school friends. Um, it was definitely like that whole show. I was just crying. Like all of the seniors were crying. And
Yeah.
that was in, shoot, I think it was early May. I'm gonna see if I can find it. But my friend
Oh,
Peyton would actually hate me if I showed you this because it's
oh
not the
no.
most flattering photo of her, but it's okay. I'll zoom in on me. So we're like,
Oh,
all of us were crying. Um, but anyway, it was
that's so
really
sweet.
hard. Yeah, it's definitely really hard to leave school dance.
Mm-hmm.
Um, for studio, there was just so much drama,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, everything has drama. Dance is a whole, like,
Oh yeah.
litany of drama,
Oh
but
yeah.
with, um, I mean, any sport is. I just feel like, dance ROMs is, like, so accurate.
Did you just
um,
say dance moms?
yep,
I love
dance
that
moms
that
is
gets
very
brought up.
accurate. Like,
Within the
there's
moms or the students?
both. Like, and I haven't seen the whole show, and I already am like, yeah, everyone is just so competitive with each other. I'm like, can we just be friends? Can we all encourage each other? Like, we're here because we love dance, most of us.
Mm-hmm. Most of us.
So let's have fun together instead of worrying about what other people think, because it doesn't
Period.
matter. Like, my professor the other day was like, if it doesn't matter in 5 years, don't worry about it for 5 minutes. So, um, yeah. So, anyway, I think studio was easier to leave, honestly, because I was just so burnt out.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and at that point, I was like, Mom, can I skip class? And I never, ever, ever skip class.
That's how you
And
know.
yeah, um, it was just never the type to be like, I don't really want to go. I'm not going to go. There were people on my dance team that were like that, and it was infuriating because it's really hard to clean dances and go over things and all that stuff when people are gone, and especially when it's the same people over and over again. Um, we get yelled at when they're not there, and that's whatever. Um, but with school dance, um, it's like it's different because you're only there for an hour a day or 2 hours a day, depending on like the block schedules. Because I know for at least Arizona, we have like 4 days of an hour, like 1 through 6 periods, and then like block schedules, so 1 3 5, which are 2 hours. So I would have a total of 5 hours during the week, and then after school rehearsals too if I was in like extra pieces that, and of course I was in those because I wanted to torture myself apparently. um, but it was also senior year, so I'm like, I'm just gonna do all of it because I can't do it again. So um,
Mm.
but yeah, I loved my dance teacher um, at school. I still get lunch with her sometimes because she's just she's so sweet, and she can be so silly, and like everyone just looks up to her as a person in general. She can definitely snap at you, like if she's making you mad, she'll be like, Avery! um, but I was never yelled at because I wasn't doing anything wrong. But there were definitely people in my classes that would mess around or whatever, not be in dress code, and they'd be like,
Mm.
dang! But,
The dress
um,
code.
oh, the dress code. I can't. Um, that was a whole other thing too. Like if we weren't in dress code, we wouldn't get participation points. Um,
Mm.
and then if we didn't like try our best every time, even if we were feeling like trash that day, we would also get our points taken off. And she
Wow.
could tell when you're trying your best or not because she knows your abilities. So
Mm. That's a
that
good
was
teacher.
fun. um,
She's
so
on it.
yeah, she's so busy, and like it takes up way too much of her life, but I mean, as far as I can tell, she enjoys it, so
Nice. She's doing
yeah.
what she's passionate about.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. I'm glad you still get lunch with her. That's so fun.
Yeah. A couple of my friends from my class that I was in, and we got lunch with her at a restaurant like during Christmas break. So that was fun. And then I'm gonna go to we have like a fall and spring concert, and so we went to the fall concert, saw her, had lunch, and then I'm gonna go to the spring concert here, which should be in like a month or so. Um, so yeah, that'll be interesting to watch, and it's so cool to like, well, cool and sometimes also very weird to see all the like juniors that were when I was a senior, they were juniors because now they're seniors, and like, no, you're not.
Mm-hmm.
You're taking my spot.
Like, what?
It's really weird, but so seeing like, all right, here's the Moveo company to seniors or whatever. Moveo was like the company name that we had at our high school, which I'm not really sure why, but that's just the way it is. So yeah.
Is it like an acronym, do you know? Like, is it MV? It sounds like it's almost an acronym.
It's Moveo,
Oh.
and it has like an apostrophe on one of the letters.
Ooh, they wanted to be unique.
Yeah.
Apostrophe.
Yeah, but
That's awesome.
mhm.
What a fun name, too. Yeah, that's so cool. I feel also with dance there can definitely be, like you were kind of saying, that level of like drama sometimes, or there's that like your teacher kind of has to be like hard on you guys, especially if there is that stuff like between students, or like some people aren't trying, some people are. But was that ever like a big challenge for you? I know you said you were one of the better ones at it, but if that's the case, what were some of the bigger challenges for you, if not that?
I okay. I have had chronic injuries ever since I started dancing, so that's
Oh,
been a
wow.
really big challenge. And I still have the chronic pain after those injuries. So I actually fractured my femur head
Mm.
um, when I was a freshman in high school. So I had been dancing for like a year, and then as soon as I had transferred over to like a different studio, I went to their summer intensive courses to just like get my face in there and be like, hey guys, like I'm coming today, like whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I did a leap that I hadn't done before, and I landed wrong, and I cracked my bone.
Oh my
So,
goodness.
I still have problems with that, but I just had to like suck it up for a little while, and then I ended up sitting out for like a year, which was really hard. And they like my studio made me just sit there and watch them because so I was still paying for all these classes that I couldn't take.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that was really hard. And I think my team didn't believe me at that point. They're like, she just doesn't want to do it, whatever. And I think there was one day that I just got so fed up with it that I ended up just like breaking down in front of one of my teachers. And I was like, I don't know why this is happening to me. Um, it sucks. Like, you want to dance and you're watching everybody else dance in front of you, and the doctors keep telling you 6 more weeks, 6 more weeks, and then 8 months goes by and the classes are over, and you're like, well, that was fun. Um, and I was required to know the dances even though I was sitting down in
Mm-hmm.
case I was able to dance once competition season came around. So they'd like move a water bottle around to use me as like, all right, this is where Avery will sit. I'm like,
Wow.
guys, just don't put me in there.
Ugh, yeah.
um, so that was my first injury, and then I ended up um, being okay for a little while. I took a break from studio dance. I still was in school, but I took a break from studio dance for my junior year because I was going through a lot junior year, and I just
Mm-hmm.
needed to like put one puzzle piece away.
Yeah.
um, so I kind of healed my hip a little bit, figured that out, and then ended up doing something to my knee. Nobody knows what I did to my knee. Um, my patella, which is their like, do you know what a patella is? I'm assuming
Is that your
it's your
kneecap or
kneecap.
is that totally okay?
Yeah,
Gotcha.
it's your kneecap.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, nursing major. Um, so, yeah, your kneecap, my kneecap moves in like the wrong direction when I'm extending and then bending my leg. So
Mm.
there's something wrong with like the ligaments underneath my kneecap, but
Oh.
um, it just like irritates the bone and the muscles and everything. So, um, yeah, I still have pain and whatnot, but
Mm.
um, so that aspect was really hard for me because I would have to like navigate, okay, how much pain am I in today? Like, is it possible for me to dance right now? Do I have to take a break? Um, and having to like the boy who cried wolf, it's like I swear I'm not. It's just like I
Yeah.
gotta do what I gotta do, and that was really hard for my teachers too because they were like, okay, like, are you actually hurt or are you just tired? Um, and I think once I was able to do more, I like did so much so that I could show them like I am invested in this. It's not me just saying I'm tired because there were people on my team that would just be like, I'm tired. Um, I don't know if you remember this part of Dance Moms, but they like this girl cut her finger or something and she's like, I hope I still can dance or whatever.
Oh.
Um, one of my teammates literally did that and she was serious.
Wow.
I'm like,
That.
oh, I fractured my femur.
Yeah. Wow, I cannot imagine how hard that would be. Just especially, I feel like it would be hard enough if even if everybody believed you and everyone was like totally supportive, that in itself would be hard. Let
Yeah.
alone having to advocate for yourself and advocate for what you need and what your body needs to heal.
Mm,
Wow. I
yeah.
am sorry. That does just such a hard experience.
It was hard, and I'm glad I don't have to like force myself to do anything now.
Mhm.
Well, not even force myself. They were forcing me.
Mm.
Because dance, there was a lot of, I mean, I don't know about other sports, but for dance, it's like, okay, we're in a conditioning class or we're just warming up or whatever.
Mhm.
And, okay, get in your plank, first person to drop, we're doing it again. So we have like different songs for, like, we have an ab song, we have a
Mm.
leg song, an arm song, whatever. On top of, we do that after the whole class was over so that you're like extra tired. And then
Wow.
that was like our cool down. And I was like, this is not, like, I
Warm
don't
up
like
too.
this. Uh, yeah. Um, but like if one person stopped, the teacher would stop the song and we'd do it all over again.
Oh my
Um,
goodness.
so that was really fun.
So
um,
that was, or how would you guys, if someone would stop then, or if someone was just like physically exhausted and couldn't do it again, and you guys all started over, I wonder how you guys made it through. It just somehow just survived.
the fight or flight, man. I don't know.
Survival
Like,
mode.
when you're that scared of your teachers, you just gotta do
Wow.
what you gotta do. And
Yeah.
sometimes you just have to, like, push through it. Sometimes I would be like, okay, I'm gonna get yelled at, but I'm too
Wow.
tired. Um, so it's trying to, like, figure out in your mind, like, what do I need to do to get through this? Whether it's I'm talking to the person next to me in my plank, and then, oh, but you can't talk either because that's
Mm.
distracting to everybody else. Well, that's the point. You're going to distract yourself so you can continue the exercise. But they would be
Mm.
like, no talking or whatever. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
But it was, dance is very interesting because it's very toxic sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that's why I took a break partially because I was like, this is no longer fun for me. Um, Nobody on my team likes me. That was just a fact,
Mm.
unfortunately. I was like, guys, I don't understand. Making
Mm.
friends is so hard. Can we talk about
It
that?
is. It
I
is
don't
so hard.
understand.
It's hard in real life, and then you bring dance or you bring another activity into it, and then there's competition. And I feel like it's just all kind of like a mixing pot of like, sometimes it's great, other times it's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
Depends a lot on the personalities too, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
But it's hard.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. That also, I feel bad because I feel also, especially when you're younger, those teachers can almost like impact, like, it's almost like the voice you use to criticize yourself later in life. Like when you hear that and you hear things like yelling or like speaking loudly, like on one hand, there's like, okay, you want to be a disciplined dancer, you want to have some grit, but on the other hand, like showing kindness through that, and I know that's like a whole conversation, but it just sounds like, um, yeah. Do you feel like how your teachers spoke to you then, like kind of like impacted how you like speak to yourself when you dance?
Oh, for sure. Because you hear the voices in your head when you're dancing. Point your toes, straighten your back,
Mm-hmm.
roll through. Like, it's just all the corrections that you hear 1,000 times a day are repeating in your head. And then when you think you're doing it correctly, then it's yelled at you again.
Mm.
Um, so like now, I'm trying to think of like an example. Um, Studying, for example. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm in anatomy and physiology too right now. That's a really hard class for me. And yeah,
Kudos.
we're almost done.
Almost done.
Yay!
For
3
those of
more
you
weeks.
who are listening to this podcast, we both go to a university in Arizona. Not the University of, but University in Arizona. And we are almost to break. So thank the Lord.
Yeah.
And
3 more weeks.
yes, especially for you guys, because you anatomy, physiology, science slash nursing majors do a crap ton of studying. So
Mhm.
you guys, I'm sure, are especially glad.
Yeah, I'm very excited to not have to study for exams over the summer. I'm like, I get 4 months of freedom.
Oh,
um, and then that's my only summer until I graduate from college because I have, like, based on the way that this works, I have this summer and then I finish my prereqs, um, and then I start nursing school right away. So,
wow.
if I get in the first time, um, yeah.
Knock on wood.
It's gonna be great, guys.
Yes.
But yeah, I definitely feel like the voices are still there. Not my teachers' voices, but just the criticism that I would constantly hear every day. I don't think that helped with the studying that I'm doing now. It's like, okay, I'm doing a Kahoot and I got like 10 questions wrong. How stupid am I? You know, like those little thoughts that come into your head, and um or like, I'm trying to think of another example. Um just having to have I go to my professor's office hours twice a week and having to tell him, "Hey, I need you to explain this again." He had to explain a concept to me, I think, at least 10 times before I understood it. Um, but then it finally started clicking. And so sometimes it's like, oh, so frustrating. Like, why can't I get this? Um, and for me, it's encouraging to see like improvement in exams and things like that, or not even scores, but like I understand this concept instead of just saying, "Oh yeah, that's like XYZ." Okay, but why? You know?
Yeah.
It's the application questions that matter. Um, and so I think dance really taught me discipline in that way, um, giving myself enough grace, but also saying, okay, am I really trying my hardest right now? Um,
Yeah.
and if I'm not, then okay, why is that? Am I tired? Am I burnt out? Am I frustrated with something? Like figuring out how I can move past the feeling stuck, um, is a challenge, but I think dance really it was like like a practice for me, I guess,
Yeah,
in that aspect. So,
for sure. It really is such a fine line, right? Like you do want to be disciplined and you're like, okay, I want to learn from this. And discipline is great in most aspects, but then we get into the aspect of, okay, well, can I also give myself grace? Or does it reach a level of like things have to be perfect? Because I feel like it's so easy to fall on one side for some people, and others are prone to fall on the other side.
mm-hmm.
And it really is like a delicate balance. Like, I can give myself grace, but then also I want to try and give my full effort. And I feel like you can especially feel that balance with dance. And it's just, that would be a really good environment to learn that early on.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad that you got to have those experiences. And I do feel bad because they seem very hard, and I'm sure you're frustrated at times. But um, I'm sure well, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but
You're good.
I'm sure it shaped some of who you are today, and yeah, just in all aspects of life.
Yeah, I think the comparison part has always been hard for me. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Looking at the girl next to me and saying, "Oh, she looks different than me." That's
Mm-hmm.
really hard. Um, or saying, "Oh, she's more flexible." I was never flexible.
Mm-hmm.
Danced so often, stretched every day. Could never do the splits, guys. Never.
Same here, girl.
Um, like, and teachers would be like, "You just gotta stretch more." Girl, I stretch twice a day. Don't even. Like, no.
Did you ever say that to them out of curiosity?
No.
She said that would not end well for me.
No, it would not. Like, all right, well, sit now.
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah. It's funny because my ballet teacher was the one that was very, like, he could be very chill and very encouraging and very sweet. And then other times, if he felt even an ounce of disrespect whatsoever, lecture. Like, it was insane. And so I felt always on my tiptoes with him because even though he's a really nice person, like, even the way that you were standing could tell him he was like, if I always stood super straight up, chin high with my hands behind my back because for me, I didn't know how to stand with him without him feeling disrespected. If you were like sitting on one hip, that was disrespectful. If you had your hand on your hip, that was disrespectful. If you yawned, that was disrespectful. Um, Even though it's 9 p.m. and you've been dancing for 4 hours. So it's just the way it was. So I definitely felt like I was always on edge at dance, but um, it also taught me respect as well. My my parents definitely instilled that in me, the respect of elders, be like yes sir, no sir, that kind of thing. And so I felt like I already had some of that going into it, but then figuring out what respect looks like for different people, because that's a whole other thing too. So,
Yeah.
And then like really tapping into understanding body language too. I'm very observant, and so I feel like it's easier for me to identify someone's uncomfortable right now, or wait, that shifted. What happened? And I feel like dance has a lot to do with that because you're so in tune with your body and trying to like mend yourself into different shapes and everything, and then coordinating that with 15 other people or 20 other people. And I don't know, dance has like truly taught me a lot, clearly, but good and bad. So
Follow-up question. Dance has taught you a lot. Has it taught you anything about yourself that you've learned?
taught me to advocate for myself more, um, with the injuries, for example, because I think when I was younger, well, prior to 15 years old, I did not advocate for myself. It was, Mom, help!
Mm-hmm.
Um, and of course, being the mom that she is, she would come help me. But I eventually needed to be like, I need to defend myself. I need to do this for myself. So I think dance really taught me, like, if this is something I'm struggling with, I need to ask for help.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and school did that too. School's always been hard for me, so that's, um, I feel like more of it, but um, dance did that for at least my physical body, not my brain.
Mm-hmm.
um, so that was definitely one thing. Also taught me how much I compare myself to other people, which has been hard. So even like my roommates, so
Mm-hmm.
seeing like different grades is really hard for me, and like because I've always struggled in school, I'm even though I'm trying my hardest and doing everything I'm supposed to and more, um, I'm still not getting the results that I really want, and that I feel like I have earned. So that aspect is really hard. And then other people, it's much easier. It makes more sense. It clicks faster. Um, they don't need things explained 10 times. um, so, and same thing with, and that's the same thing with dance too. Like, um, man, I really can't get this skill down. Why? Um,
Mm-hmm.
and so teachers coming over and being like, okay, I'm going to adjust how you're positioned right now, and then I want you to try again. So, um, accommodating, like switching up, okay, this isn't working. How can I change it to make it work better? Um, and that, I mean, that can be applied in all aspects of life, in my opinion, relationships, school,
Yeah.
fitness, all that stuff. So,
Really is universal.
mm-hmm.
Um, Also about the comparison aspect a little bit. Um, I definitely felt that when you were explaining it a lot, like comparing, like how that applies to different aspects, like grades or other things. Um, Honestly, it really is like everybody truly is different, right? Like what may be easy for one person, honestly, sometimes I view it as like strengths and weaknesses almost. I don't know if you kind of view it that way a little bit too, but um, it's almost like some people have these strengths and some people have these strengths, and I am also like a very slow learner, so
Yeah.
do not feel bad about that at all. And I'm also not flexible, so don't feel bad about that either. But
Perfect.
yes, but it really is. I'm glad that because some things about like some aspects like that about ourselves, it's like, oh, I wish I could change this. I wish I could be better at this. But really, all we can do is try our best, right? And I love that you're able to discover that about yourself because, I mean, awareness is one of the wisest things we can do. And then we know our strengths and we know our weaknesses. And I love that you've kind of like done that too. Um, and also, just going through that, what are some of the ways you think you've grown? Like, whether it's like physically with dance or with your mindset as well.
um, I think along with the comparison, I obviously I still compare myself to other people. That's just how life is. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
automatic. You don't it's not like you're trying to, but
Yeah.
um shifting once I hear that like little voice in my head like, "Oh, you're not smart enough, whatever." Um it's shifting the mindset. Have I improved? Um and if the answer is yes, then I can be proud of myself. Um
Mm.
and or saying like I heard this actually. This is not from me. This is some random Jesus loving girl that I saw at a coffee shop the other day. Because she said she was talking to, I was just studying, minding my own business, but of course you can hear conversations that are happening right next to you. So
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of just listening, and um, she, one of her friends actually told her, "Why are you sad about God closing a door?" And she's like, "Well, because like that's not the way I wanted it to go." And her friend was like, why would you be sad of God's protection? And I was like, oh my gosh. So, yeah. Like, clearly there's something better. And for me, I'm very, like I said earlier, I'm very detail oriented. I'm very organized. Like, I keep my space clean, like, all the time.
I can see your little room back there. So pristine.
My nice made bed. My desk is, like, slight clean.
Nice.
And I'm just, like, those kind of things I excel in. So, and my dad especially has been really nice to remind me of those things, because the mindset thing has been really hard for me with the grades specifically, because I'm like, why can't I understand this? Like, it's so frustrating. And but my dad's like, but you, for example, I want to be a labor and delivery nurse. So he's
so cool.
telling, I know. I'm like, I'm so excited. I'm like, please. But he's telling me, like, because I'm so detail oriented, because I pay attention to body language and all those things, he's like, you're going to be able to identify and figure out, like, if your patient is uncomfortable at any point in time better than, let's say, the person that has all A's right now. And so he's like, that's more important than getting a lower grade than you want. And I know that, but nursing school doesn't work like that, which is really unfortunate. So trying to, like, let go and be like, okay, if this is supposed to be the way I want it, then it's gonna happen, and I'm just gonna keep trying unless God's like, stop right now. So I'm waiting for the red flags, and if they don't come, then great. But that's, like, my mindset right now. And yeah, so the trying your best aspect of all of that is just where I'm at. But
that's awesome. I love that so much. Like, especially just coming from a place where, I mean, we live in a world where it's like, yeah, those things are real, like comparison, all those things. But the fact that you're able to almost reframe it, like, I'm doing my best, and I grew from where I was before. Mm-hmm. I feel like there's so much power in that. So I love that you mentioned that. Yeah, that's just awesome. I'm looking at my list of questions, and I feel that we have answered a lot of them, which is great.
Okay.
I'm trying to find if there's any that are left. If you have to give advice, somebody's starting out dance, they're a new dancer. They don't know anything about the world. Well, they know things about the world, but maybe not the world of dance.
Not the dance world, yeah.
What advice are you giving them?
Definitely giving yourself grace. I definitely struggled with people around me have been doing this since they were 2. I'm just starting now at 14, things like that. Or 13, whatever it was. So going into it with a mindset of, I'm here to improve myself, not compare myself to people that have already been doing this for X amount of time. So giving yourself grace is a big thing. Knowing your limits. So recognizing there's a difference between soreness and pain. That was hard for me too, because I had to learn, because of injuries, I had to learn the difference between this is good pain and bad pain. So recognizing, is this too much for my body, or am I pushing it to my limit that's okay? Knowing your limits, giving yourself grace, making sure you're doing it for the right reasons. I think a lot of people get into dance because their mom or dad is like, I want my little ballerina. No, you're gonna hate your life. Tell your parents no. Like, dance is not for someone who doesn't want to do it, period.
Mm-hmm.
It's too hard. It's just hell, honestly, if you're not doing it because you love it. It's hard. Like
Mm-hmm.
everything that is worth having is hard.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so for me, it was a therapy, and I really loved it. And honestly, it was life saving for me. Um, it was a very good way for me to get my emotions out that I needed to without actually like screaming or, things like that. Unhealthy
Yeah.
habits. Screaming is okay, but not all the time. Um,
Valid.
pillows are good, guys. um,
Yep.
um, but yeah, that would be my advice. Getting into the right reasons, giving yourself grace, knowing your limits, have fun, because it won't last that long anyway. So,
Mm.
like I miss it. I miss the happy parts, obviously. I miss being able to dance, and occasionally I would feel like overwhelming joy when I was dancing, and so I think that was the thing I was chasing constantly.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because it just felt so good sometimes. Um, and other times I was like, I'm gonna puke my guts out.
Mm.
Hold, please, and then run to
Oh,
the bathroom.
my
Um,
goodness.
but if you're doing what you want to do, then it's gonna be worth it. So, um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that would be my advice.
It sounds like it just meant a lot to you. And especially that word that you used, or those words, life saving.
hmm
That's not something that's a light thing. Like, I feel
Yeah.
like that really describes how much it meant to you.
hmm
And just also having done a little bit of dance, I can relate to that feeling of you get on stage, you're performing, this is everything you've worked for. And it was hard in the moments of practice, but it's so rewarding when you get there.
hmm
And it's so cool, and just some of the biggest moments of happiness. So I think that was also very wise when you were saying, in essence, anything that's worth doing is hard. That needs to go in like on a sticker or in a quote book or something, because I love that.
hmm
And yeah, that's just so cool. Um, we have got a couple more minutes, so I'll just give you kind of an ending question here. Is there a performance or a move that you're most proud of?
Um, I don't know. I my senior year lyrical group dance, that was a lot. Um, I we performed a dance. It was actually like we were the second round of people to do the exact same thing. Um,
Mm.
it was really a full circle moment, so I'm gonna tell you. So when I was still in Oregon, when we were just hit with COVID, and
Mhm.
I was still new to dance, trying to figure myself out, like looking up dance videos on YouTube and all these things. I saw a video of, I think it was 12 dancers that performed a lyrical dance to the song Rescue by Lauren Daigle, and I broke down crying. Because I knew the song, but for me, because dance had already like become a thing for me, I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Um, Fast forward, I moved here. That dance, that was my senior dance. I had
Wow.
no idea. I
I
had
just got
literally no
chills.
idea that it was my studio, that it was my director that like helped facilitate all of that. Like zero idea. Um, so definitely full circle moment for me. Um, but yeah, that was my favorite, and I loved like the ending part because I was often in the back for my dances because I'm tallest.
Mhm.
Um, and so that was always hard for me, but my director knew that was hard, and I was in the back for, well, actually, I was in the front for a lot of it, and I was very
Oh,
excited. Um,
yes.
but like in the very end of it, I was in the very back center with another girl, and my director told me, "You two are going to be the one last on stage." And I was like, "Yes! Finally, I have a moment." Like, I've never had a solo or anything like within a group dance. I was like, "Yes, finally!"
Oh, that's
Um,
so awesome.
yeah, and it was cool because at the end of the dance, it was everybody, um, like, was doing their own thing. It kind of like Moses part the Red Sea, and it's like us standing in the middle. Um, and so they're doing their own thing, and then I'm like doing my thing with this girl. They run off stage, and we just like embrace each other so tightly. And it was just such a cool moment because like even like the last time I was doing it, I was like, I think I held on to her for a little bit longer than I should have, but because she was like, okay, we're done. I was like, no, we're not.
Wow.
But because I didn't want it to be over, but
Hmm.
that definitely was probably my favorite. Lots and lots and lots and lots of hours of rehearsals for that one, but it looked so good on stage with our costumes, and it just flowed very nicely with the dancers involved. And I love when choreography fits the people that it's on,
Hmm.
um, and you can tell that choreography was made for certain people.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, it was cool just to see the full circle moment. I thought that was really interesting. Um, but yeah, that was definitely my favorite. Um, I
Wow.
wasn't like I liked my solos, but they were fine. Like,
Hmm.
um, I
That's
think I
so,
just got sick of them after a while because it didn't become interesting. So
yeah.
whatever. But yeah, so I got to experience that, and that was really cool. We always got like first overall with that one because I think it's just such a big song too that
Hmm.
judges always love it, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, it's so pretty," and I'm like, "I
Yeah.
know." um, so yeah, that would be my
Wow.
favorite.
I got chills two different times while you were telling that story because I know this song and I've listened to it. And if you guys haven't listened to it, this is not sponsored. But if you haven't listened to Rescue by Lauren Daigle, go listen because it is
Hmm.
an amazing song. And I feel that it reflects a lot of aspects of faith too. But then
Hmm.
just that sense that it also is just a really pretty song. And just I can't imagine how that looked with the dance. I bet that was just amazing.
Yeah.
So, and just hearing about that last moment too. That's so
Well,
cool.
it was cool because it was right at the moment where the last "I will rescue you," and that's when I hugged that my friend, and then everybody was off stage, and we just had the piano outro like while we're still hugging, and it was just so cool. But
Wow,
yeah,
that is amazing. I'm
so
sad.
I'm
I'm. Well, I was already sitting, but like mentally sad.
yeah,
My gosh, that is amazing. I thank you for sharing that. That was just such a
yeah,
cool story to hear. And just thank you for sharing your experience in general too.
mhm,
Yeah. And
for
just taking
sure.
time out of your day. Right, that's all for this week's episode of Rhythm and Reality. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, follow along, and keep an eye out for more episodes.